Friends, hello. Software stocks are back. That's what we're saying. That's what Jensen just said. So it's back. It's back. I hope everyone's well. It is a Thursday in the market here, and it was a good day, really good day. We had a push up in the morning, a little bit of sell off in the afternoon, well, the lunchtime, and then we had a push back towards the end of the day. So all in all, pretty good day with, obviously software stocks, tech stocks, anything with that did really well today. And obviously, Big Bear, Palantir had a great day. Going to talk about them. Big things happening over here. With that too, we are probably at any moment, we are at DEFCON 4 here. This week is the week, more than likely, where the war is maybe happening, and I don't know what this, I hate to use that word, but this may be an in and out situation. We'll see here. But Palantir will be a part of it. Big Bear might be a part of it. And they will be the talk of the town, no doubt about it. So, and obviously I'm talking about the Iran situation. We are over there. We're sitting on the shore waving at them, and we'll see what happens here. S&P going back up a little bit here, back in the 6.9 range, and obviously Nvidia quarterlies came out. They're amazing. Nvidia did what it always does, runs up pre-quarterly. Here comes the sell-off after, and, it's holding now this 180 range. So essentially by Q1, we probably will be looking at a $200 position, solid bottom with Nvidia around Q1, and Q1s for Nvidia are already projected to be in the $70 billion range. So what a wild time to be an investor. Do you realize you are in a moment right now as an investor where this is such a moment right now where they're going to talk about this in history books, where a publicly traded company that you can trade, that you can buy, be a part of, and it's in like this growth season, and it's not like making, it made a $20 million quarterly, it made a $40 million quarterly, it made a $1 billion quarterly. No, it is making quarterlies that some countries don't even have that much wealth in a year, especially these quarterlies of, we passed 50 billion, now we're in 60 billion, now it looks like we're going into 70 billion, and by the end of this year, 2026, are we going to be in a $100 billion range with Nvidia? We're going to be close if we don't hit 100 billion. So it is crazy. It's driving up the market. It's driving up every ETF it's a part of. It's a wild situation right now with Nvidia, and you as an investor, what an amazing time to be a part of this. So, and don't think for a minute if anyone's telling you this is going to sell down or anything like that, they're insane. Nvidia will have its moments of sell-off here, but where it sells off, it will be bought up, and it will run to $200 here before we know it. So, friends, I'm excited. Man, finally getting some life back in this market. Even Jensen came out here with an interview with these quarterlies. He said, I've been telling you guys. He literally said, listen, I've been telling you, we are rolling over here in Nvidia. The sales, I'm looking at them and they're crazy. There's no AI bubble. Tech is in control. It is rolling. We're going into this whole new generation of wealth in the market right now with quantum computing, robotics, where data centers are going. Not to mention chips are even more to high demand than ever right now. Software killing it. It's all happening right before us. And, so I just be careful getting out of tech. I think we all have friends. If you have investor friends, we've seen them completely. Some of them, obviously, just some have sold. I know couple buddies that have sold out of tech completely, and they literally told me today that I think I made a mistake. And I was like, yeah, I think you made a mistake. I mean, and I told them not to, but anyway, that's here nor there. Just, man, I hate when people they let the negativity control their investing, life. And it's always paid off more just to go through the fire and come out the other end and go oh my God, I'm so glad we did that. So we'll see what happens here. Let's talk about Big Bear. So, friends, two things here. Big Bear has quarterlies, the second here, that's Monday. Yes, Monday. So obviously Big Bear is pushing up here, and the market's been rolling here too. Big Bear being the software-driven company, AI company, mixing now a lot more into AI. Now the Sage acquisition deal is done. Big Bear 2, the last partnership that we saw here with it, I put it right here so everyone can see it. Big Bear is really pushing into these partnerships with other companies and trying to expand into other deals, relationships. And this is something that is slow going, but I do and I have to believe that this will pay off for Big Bear, and which will pay off for investors later on down the road. So there are things going on. Obviously last year this time things were rolling a lot hotter off the press with Big Bear. I mean, they were getting deals like crazy, but this year so far we have not seen a lot happen. The quarterly for Monday, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what this quarterly is going to be like. I don't think it's going to be like knock your socks off quarterly, like, insanity, going to completely change the dynamics of the whole stock price or anything like that. The most I can hope for at this point is that Big Bear comes out with a quarterly that slightly beats expectation, and two, with that, finds itself in a place of, getting more deals here soon to keep the blood flowing here, to keep people interested in Big Bear. Right now, a lot of articles are being released with Big Bear, and it's rough conversation, because it's kind of the conversation we're all having here, where everyone's going like, there's so much potential. I don't want to walk away from Big Bear, because I know this could change dramatically, like under my feet, if I walk away. If I go away for a few months and I come back, they've received deals, security deals, government deals, more of these airline deals, and this is what is kind of scary to walk away from Big Bear. That's why it's still a very sought out stock right now in the market. So with that situation, here's what I'm going to say, how to play this out right now. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I am bullish on Big Bear, that they can continue to clean up this company. They can get it on a good pathway, a strong, solid pathway to better quarterlies, future everything, and be a part of this next generation of AI security, what they're dealing in right now. But with that, we've had a lot of movement here on Big Bear so far. I do expect Friday, tomorrow, to be a good day. Obviously, we've got some economical news coming out in the morning. I don't know how that will affect defense stocks. I think like things like Palantir and Big Bear will kind of do what they want to do as usual, but Big Bear, I could definitely see it running into like a 4:30 tomorrow. It's obviously pushed into this 4:15 after hours, and now this is a situation where things could continue to grow here. If it went back to 4:30, possibly 5 is really pushing it, but maybe we'll see. We could be lucky here. But to Monday, when these quarterlies come out, probably more than likely people will take profit. They will take massive profit. So do not be shocked to see people take profit on Big Bear. If it runs up into a high $4-5 range here tomorrow, even Monday, people will take profit 100%. And we'll see kind of where this cleans up and where it lands here. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. So moving to Palantir here, obviously Palantir is rolling right now. And why I talk about this Iran stuff is because more than likely it's going to be the conversation out there. People, it's like you're seeing Palantir being a part of the process of what's going on right now. Palantir will be a part of what's going on with this Iran situation, however this plays out. And I would highly expect that if we do see, it's kind of when at this point, when we see this unfold here, that a lot of the market could crash a little bit. I don't want to say crash, that may be a little harsh, but it, just sell down, cool down a little bit, kind of figure out what it wants to do here. But I would probably highly expect that things like Big Bear, especially Palantir, will probably just do good on the days when the market finds that news and starts to sell off a little bit. So Palantir here, and I put Jensen right here because a lot of this too was this Nvidia push from the market. And then once the quarterlies came out with Nvidia here, Jensen came out with that interview and said like, hey, why are you guys talking about this AI bubble? There's no AI bubble. All the AI companies are doing great. What we do have is we're going to have losers and we're going to have winners. There's going to be ones that survive and there's going to be ones that don't. This is like C3. C3 last year was going through a lot of bad stuff. This year it is getting so much worse. Now they're laying off people. So that is a situation over there where it's like, good God. Maybe they can clean up things. We'll see. But, that was a company, that was a stock that was expected to do big numbers. And it was rolling for a minute last year. But anyway, I'm not talking about C3. But Palantir here getting back up into this 140 zone. We've seen Palantir do this before. We've seen Palantir take hits here and slowly push back up. This may be the most lost I've been in the market for what's coming here with March and April. It's unknown waters what we're going to face here with March and April. I say that because it's like this dead zone, because quarterlies are pretty much wrapped up for Q4s. We'll be in Q1s here obviously pretty soon, but it's this place of March and April where we're waiting for the next round of quarterlies, Q1s for this year. We're waiting for the Fed to reshape itself and see what's going to happen over there going into May. And it's just this place of, there's 60 days there of just, what's going to happen in the market. It's a little, uneasy. There's just not a lot we're expecting here. Obviously, the Feds will talk in March, and then we'll talk in April. I'm not expecting them to lower or raise or anything. I don't think they're going to do a darn thing, and that's probably best, to be honest. But right now, this is where we could go into moments of either there could just be the news continues to where people start to slowly buy back into tech. Software companies start to get more attention. And now, and this is where things are changing a lot. You're hearing a lot more with these, Sam Altman's, Jensen, Elon about these data centers and AI and how things like Palantir work with software, AI, the data centers, how everything, works together, how the one needs the other one here. So this is a lot. I would watch that interview that Jensen gave where he was just kind of laughing like people are insane if they think that we are in an AI bubble. I mean, this is so not the truth here. It's actually about to get even crazier, and which I do think it is too, because this is where we can easily focus this conversation on where Tesla is going in the next year, where robotics are going, where quantum computing, data centers, things could get a lot more intense here. They could get intense again, but get even more intense than what we had them here in 2025 during the summer of last year. I really think that Palantir, I'm not on the Michael Burry train whatsoever. I'm just not. I am completely in the bull camp here with Palantir, that this is going to continue to be bought up. And look at this. I mean, this is the thing with every major institution right now. There's no one talking bad about it. That's the thing right now. When you see these big investors on TV, these people on Wall Street, these firms, all these entities out there, they're not talking negative about Palantir. They're saying quite the opposite. They're saying buy, hold, buy and hold. The only one that is out here spewing this narrative of it's not worth it is Michael Burry. And it's crazy because obviously I don't want to talk about this too much because I've given my thesis on this plenty, but it's insane that Michael's allowed to do that. He obviously he's not the CEO, anything like that. And he's just this investor. Obviously he's in the financial world, what he does. But, Michael can come out and say something about a company for good or bad, and guess what's going to happen? That company is going to react what he says. So, of course, when he comes out here and says this about Palantir, it's going to fall apart. Of course, it's going to shake people out. It's going to shake the price, especially when the overall market is having some trouble here. Michael's done this with other companies. He's done this with other companies. So if you're still on this Michael Burry train of like, I don't know, man, he's called some things. He's called some things. But two, Michael Burry could be playing everyone. Michael Burry could be wanting Palantir to fall apart more so he could maybe he's going to buy it, he could be playing everyone. You don't know. I mean, how do you think Michael Burry got where he got? He's ruthless. He's a ruthless, amazing investor. He knows how to play the market. He knows how to manipulate the market. He's onto it. He is the king of doing that. So, and obviously, I'm saying good things here. So, I mentally have to stay away from the Michael Berry stuff. Yes, it's like ugh, but I cannot rely on that information whatsoever. I think Palantir is unique. Palantir is different. And two, the tell of the tape is going to come this week here, because next week we will be in this place of, okay, Nvidia quarterlies have released. We've had all this good news. We're starting to see a little more buy up with, software again, tech, chips, all this stuff, however you want to break it down. And two, I just don't think that the market is really going to care about the tariff stuff anymore. I just, because this is what it's been doing. The tariff stuff comes out, it's devastating to the market, and the market goes, whatever. So with that, like I said, I am a little, I don't want to say concerned, but I am just a little like there's a pocket of time we have to get through here in March and April, kind of a lost little space and time here until we get to these next things to make the market feel better about what's going on here. But yeah, I think Big Bear is in a place of where it's going to be a survivor into the future, or it's not. And I am bullish on Big Bear, but they need deals, they need finances, they need to get it together 100%. I hope this quarterly knocks us off our boots. I hope it's amazing, but we just haven't had enough public news of what it's going to be. That's the problem. It's hard to say that, oh yeah, they got that deal in December for, $200 million. Oh, they got that deal in, October for, $50 million. We don't have that information. And that's where I go like, I don't know. No one knows at this point. We're all kind of at the mercy of whatever this quarterly is about to be here. So it's why I'm saying I would be very careful buying Big Bear if it goes anywhere to $5. Be very careful, because when these quarterlies come out and they're not satisfying to the market, it will be a bloodshed once again, and we'll see where Big Bear can survive off this moment. So this is why Big Bear continuing to get deals, continuing to push into partnerships is so important at this stage, because it's got to get something rolling here. Friends, I want to wish all of you the best of luck. Be excited. What a time to be an investor. It's an amazing time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.